This is Mary. She understands the importance of a strong root system. So when Mary lost a tooth, she went to Frankel Dentistry to replace it with a dental implant. Its titanium root is precisely placed and naturally fuses with her jawbone over time for a permanent replacement that's as strong as it is beautiful, just like her smile. Because making you smile is what we're all about.
I'm saying that most people quit before they ever get what they really want. And it's not just about quitting. It's about not being tenacious enough to follow through to build the momentum you need in order to get you where you want to go. So you got this snapshot, you get this picture, this idea in your head, and you say, this is where I'm going and what I want to do. But what you don't have in your head is a full out plan, a complete strategy to get you there. Hey, how's everybody doing? We're here to go over some 401k information. Listen, I have had a ton of people ask me about how to take advantage of their 401k program. And I swear to you, I don't believe how many people think that a 401k is a ripoff. They believe that somehow, some way, that the man is getting over on them and that they shouldn't contribute to their 401k program. And that is absolutely incredibly insane. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you what. So listen, above this video is a link that says allow StreamYard to share your information so that I can see who's on and I can respond to any comments that you have. So if you have a question, listen, this is a masterclass. So we're going to go over as much information in a shorter period of time as we can about your 401k and how you can make that thing work for you. It should have been finishing the year strong, kicking butt and taking names. There's a lot of good news to make the market increase. So what is a 401k? A 401k is a tax-deferred savings retirement plan that for-profit corporations use to help their employees retire with a nest egg. Now, what's the layman terms with that? That is your employer allows you to put away some cash in an account so that you can, hi Nicole, you don't see the link, but you don't need to see it because I can see it's you. So you're fine. You must have clicked it another time during another stream that we did, a live stream that we did. So you're okay. I can see your name. Who else do we have on? I see we got like about 12 people on. Who else is on? We're live in the nation. We're live on YouTube and we are, 24K Nation. Hi, Nikki, I almost wore my Christmas present you gave me, which was my David Goggins shirt. And I love it because I realized he has the same initials as me, right? And I love his little logo. So anyway, I didn't wear it, but I almost did. But I have worn the shirt. Nice shirt. I like it. Anyway, so a 401k plan is a way for an employer to remove responsibility for your retirement from themselves to you. And what that means simply is back in the day, they used to have a defined benefit program. In the defined benefit program, the employer would guarantee you a certain dollar amount for every year of service as long as you're retired. And that became very expensive for them. So they said, listen, we want to kind of transition the responsibility of ownership to people's retirement to themselves. So we want to give them a way to take money out of their check. So the way that you get money in a 401k plan is to take it out of your check, okay? and you take it out of your check and you put it into this plan that the company set up for you. Now, tax deferred is not tax free. So forgive me for the elementary lesson, but we're going to start with everybody at the same level. And if we need to do another broadcast on the next level, we'll do that. But I'm going to take you all the way through the basics, all the way through investing in your 401k and how to take a look at your investments. So you got to pay attention, take some notes, get pen and paper. I see you all are saying hi to each other. Nobody's saying hi, Derick, but it's okay. I love you anyway. I know you love me, at least sometimes. So is my ego getting deflated here? I am just joking, you all. I love that you all know each other and love each other and help each other. So inside your tax deferral, it is not tax-free. So what happens is that you put the money into your account, right? So you tell your employer, listen, I want you, hi, Tara. Thanks, Tara. I want you to take some money, 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever it happens to be, out of my check before I love you too, Ro, to take money out of my check. And I want you to put it into this account so that I can start to accumulate money without paying taxes on it right now. And so that money goes into the account, tax deferred, so you don't pay any taxes on it. And then you get to go to the next level, which we'll talk about in a second. So it is a voluntary program, okay, which means that you don't have to participate, but I strongly recommend you participate. And you also, it is company sponsored. So your employer sponsors it most of the time, if not all of the time. What your company does is they go hire a third party to come in and deliver the 401k program to you. So your money is not at the employer. So the man is not doing you in. He is providing you a benefit that is really necessary and helpful for you to accomplish your financial goals. If I could digress for 1 second, the number one place that people have money anywhere in society is in their house. If you own a home, you have more money in your home or equity or value in your home than anywhere else. The second place is your 401k. Okay, that's how important it becomes. Most people don't have $500 at home or in their savings account, but they potentially have thousands of dollars in their 401k program. It is critical that you take a look at a 401k program and that you decide that you're going to contribute. And again, once I get finished, I'll tell you why. Now, again, you can ask me questions at any time. Feel free to just type in a question. I'll get it and I'll be happy to answer it. If it's a stupid question, I'll ignore it. That's just how I do. Now, inside of a 401k plan, every dollar that you put into the program is 100% your money. Now, most 401k plans have matching, okay? So the employer will match what you put in. So sometimes the matching is 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to a certain percentage, let's say 6%. So if you put in $6, the employer is going to put in $3. So you put in $6, you now have $9. So the beauty of this program is that they are giving you money to participate. Now, the $6 that you put in is 100% yours. The $3 that they put in is only partially yours, and it usually vests, meaning it becomes yours 20% a year, every year till 5 years. So you have to stay with the company 5 years in order to get to be 100% vested. I know you've heard that term before if you're in your 401, and maybe you didn't know what vested means, but vested means how much of it do you own of the employer's contribution. So Rashawn asked, how do you go about getting a 401k if your job doesn't have one? Well, for someone like Rashawn, who is starting her own business, you set one up in your own company and you are allowed to do that, and you are allowed to match your contributions in your company. In your employer's company, if they don't have one, if it's a nonprofit, they might have something called a 403b. Most 403bs don't match because there's no profit, because it's a nonprofit organization, like a school or something like that. But it does allow the same tax deferral, and it also allows you to shelter that money until you take it out for retirement, and it allows you to invest, which we'll talk about investing in a little bit. Any money in a 403b is 100% yours as well. If your employer doesn't have a 401, they probably can't afford it, to be honest, or it's too costly for them. So you are allowed to make contributions into an IRA, a whole different discussion that we can cover later. But for today's masterclass, we're going to stick with 401ks. So vesting 5 years, most of the time, you have to read your plan guidelines. Now, listen, almost every 401k program has an online access. So you can log on and you can see what your plan's doing, what the rules are, what the investments are, how your money's growing, okay? So it's your responsibility to find out how to access that and how to get in. Every company who offers a 401k program also has an investment advisor like myself that specializes in that company's 401k program. They get paid to answer your questions. So don't be shy about reaching out to them and saying, hey, what do I need to do to get better returns on my 401k? What do I need to do to get involved in the 401k? Can you explain investing to me? Can you explain the investments to me? That's what they get paid to do. So don't hesitate to do that. Now, the only way to contribute to a 401k is through payroll deductions. So you have to tell your employer, I want you to deduct 1% of my pay, 5% of my pay, 10% of my pay, and so on. So what you should do in determining how much you should deduct and put into the plan is your first goal is to always try to maximize the match that the employer is giving you. So I explained to you that if they're giving you a 6% match, 50 cents up to 6%, you definitely should be at 6% if you can afford it. How do you know if you can afford it? Well, you should do a budget. Now, that is a whole nother masterclass. We actually have a program for you for that, which is my holiday present. You can see it there. Go to bit.ly, bit.ly/24KMM. That's our money mastery program that will teach you how to budget, and then you can figure out what you should be contributing to your 401k. So I always suggest if you start low, let's say you're putting 1 or 2% in, that you every 6 months you increase it 1%, and then you can see how it affects your bring home pay. Right? If you have done the budget, so go to that bit.ly, or you can go to DerickGant.com/money mastery, and you can learn how to budget to get there. Now, the goal is to get to 17%. 17% is the maximum amount that you can the maximum percentage amount that you can contribute into a 401k plan. The maximum dollar amount is $19,500. So if you make $200,000, you can't put in 17%. It's going to tap you out. If you do put in 17%, at the end of the year, they're going to give you back the difference, anything over that amount. Now, if you're over certain ages, and I'm giving you a lot of information here, but if you're over a certain age, let's say you're over 50, they have what they call catch-up provisions. So you can actually put in more than the 17% or more than the 19.5, but you have to go see your plan administrator and talk about what those limits are so that you can figure that out. You can always catch up. For some of you, like Nicole, that are killing the game, you want to get to 17%, and I don't know if you are or you're not, but the goal is to get to the 17%. If you get to that, then you want to go take a look, based on however old you are, at using and implementing the catch-up provisions. So here's why a 401k plan is so critical. Let's say, for instance, that you had $10,000 and you said, hey, Derick, you're the money guy. I want you to invest this $10,000 for me, and I want you to sprinkle your magic dust over it, and I want you to help me make it grow. Okay, say, great. I am brilliant. I can help you do that. So if you were to invest with me $10,000, here's the problem. In order for you to invest $10,000, you actually had to make closer to $13,000, pay the taxes on it, okay, federal and state, and then give me the $10,000. So you've already paid the taxes on it, then I'm going to invest it for you. But if you put that $10,000 in your 401k through payroll deduction, it's going to be $13,000, right off the bat. So in order for me to break even, so here's your 13 inside your 401k. If you gave me 10 and said, I want you to do your magic, I got to do 30% just to get even. So you are always ahead by putting your money inside of a 401k. So now you got your 13 and you got your 10, and then the employer matches. So your 13 is now more than 13. Okay, because they're matching. You're getting a 50% return up to 6%, a 50% return up to the 6%, if that's what your employer's number is. Okay, then I'm going to talk to you in a little bit about investing the money, and let's say you get a 7% return on top of that. So there is no way I could ever invest, or any investment person could ever invest your money better than the return you can get on a 401k program, ever. It's just not going to happen. Now, 401ks do lose money in investing, so that might be a situation. But net, you are always going to be ahead inside your 401k from just a deposit standpoint. So does anybody have any questions on company matching? Do you have any questions on what happens? You're only vested to the number of years that you've been in service, okay? So let's talk about taking money out of a 401k. I told you that a 401k is the second largest asset that most people have. And the reason why is because your house, my house, there's no ATM machine anywhere in here, right? I can't go to my house and say, I want my equity out, give me $200, right? And if your 401k, there's no way to get the money out easily. So people tend not to take it out. So therefore it continues to accumulate. So because it's accumulating inside of there without you touching it, which is the problem, because people spend, then the money accumulates and it grows, and that's why you have more money there than anywhere else. But some plans, most plans, will allow you to take a 401k loan in case of hardships. Hardships might be death of a family member. Hardships might be loss of might going to lose your home. You might have been downsized or something like that. So they do allow some hardship withdrawals. But you can only borrow 50% of the vested balance, 50% of the vested balance up to a maximum of $50,000. So there are some limits to what you can do inside your 401k program. So if you want to take a loan and they allow it, those are the limits that they allow. Now, if you do get a loan, you have to pay it back within 5 years. If you don't pay it back within 5 years, they will send you a statement saying, we gave so-and-so X number of dollars in addition to their salary from their 401k, and that will be added to your annual income the year that you don't pay that back if you go past the 5 years. So you want to be cautious that whatever you borrow, that you pay it back. Now, the way you pay it back is not by writing them a check. It's through payroll deduction. So if you are taking a loan, you're also contributing to your plan, and you need to repay the loan, you might want to increase your contribution, or you're going to stagnate your growth because you're going to be paying back the loan versus adding to the real value of your 401k. Ooh, somebody gave me a mean face. What'd you give me a mean face for? I said something you don't like. You can tell me what it is. I'll be happy to read it. Now, I talked about the maximum loan. Now, we're in special times right now. So because of COVID, some companies are allowing you to borrow up to $100,000 in 2020, and they'll carry that over into 2021 because of COVID. Oh, it was by accident. Okay. All right. Well, there's two mean faces. Did you do it twice, Tara? So, well, you need to give me like 4 hearts just to make up for the. Oh, there's another mean face. Man, you guys are on a tangent tonight. So, the other way to take money out, so you have a loan, you also have retirement. So whenever you retire, you can take money out. If you retire before age 59 and a half, there's some penalties there. And you can also roll it over. So many people left a company and they left their 401k plan there, and they're at a new company with a new 401k plan. So they have two. Now, you can't contribute to the old one, but you can roll the old one over into the new one, or you can set up your own IRA account at a bank or an investment person's office. You can go see your investment person. There's 5 mean faces. And you can contribute to that whenever you want to. Now, the beauty of rolling over into your own IRA account is that you now have access to thousands and thousands and thousands of investment options compared to the investment options just inside of your 401k plan. And we'll talk about investments in a second. So those are the 3 ways: retire, roll over, or take a loan that you can get money out of a 401k program. There's always tax consequences involved if you take the money personally. So I always suggest you roll it over first before you take any contributions, or you roll it over and you put it in a retirement account and you don't take it at all, or you take a loan and you repay it. So let's talk about the biggie, which is investing. Now, investing is extremely complicated, or everybody would do it. I talked to someone earlier today, and her comment was, I'm really scared to pull the trigger on buying and selling things because I don't know what I'm doing. So my suggestion is simply this. The first thing that you should do is, if you want to well, let me back up. Every 401k has mutual funds. They have what we call lifestyle funds. They have index funds, okay? Sometimes if you work for a for-profit corporation and they have company stock, they might have their company stock inside the 401k plan also. Let's start with the company stock. If you work for a company and it's a great company and they do really well, I would recommend you buy their stock. You are an insider. You know what's going on in your company. You know if sales are up, if sales are flat. You know if people are getting fired, if they're downsizing, if they're right-sizing. Now, listen, just because they may be doing some of those things doesn't mean that you should not invest in the company, because sometimes when companies, it's bad for employees when companies downsize, but it's good for stockholders. So you got to be careful with that. Okay. Bad for your gas tank when they raise gas prices. But if you own ExxonMobil, you're really happy because you're making more money. So you got to be aware of the dichotomy of being a stock owner and a consumer. Totally different perspectives. So I'm not going to get into grave detail about that, but just know that there's a difference with that. But I recommend that when you buy company stock, they usually are selling it to you at a discount because you're an employee. That's another reason to invest in company stock. So you get a chance to watch it, you know what's going on, you get it at a discount, and you don't have to buy whole shares a lot of times too. So you can buy partial shares. Then you get to mutual funds. A mutual fund is a conglomerate of different companies packaged up in one basket. Okay, so you could have Sears and Kroger's and Food Mart and Citibank all in one little basket, and you can own that basket without having to own each individual, and you can kind of spread your risk out that way. I would recommend that you talk to your investment person at your company in order to understand those investments a lot more clearly. Then there's indexed funds. So you have mutual funds, basket of companies, index funds. An index fund is a conglomerate of every company in one index. So it might be all gasoline, it might be all pharmaceuticals, it might be healthcare, it might be retailers, it might be food companies, it might be coffee companies, it might be medical sales. So it's an index. So you're buying an index. And so what you want to be able to do is you want to go into your 401k program, you want to print off the list of investments, and you want to look them up online. Everything that you ever thought you wanted to know is available right here, okay? You can look it up and you can see the performance. So what are you looking for when you look it up? You're looking to see what the performance is for the year. No matter when the year is, it could be the first month of the year. You're looking for that. You're looking for the trend. What has this stock done over the last 3 years? Has it been successfully going up? Is it flat? Is it down? So I'm not going to teach you investing here because it is way too complicated. Suffice to say that you can start looking at it on a regular basis and understanding if it's going up or down. And when it starts going down, month after month, then you know it's time for you to jump in and take a closer look. Then there's the lifestyle funds. Lifestyle funds, or Target, you might see Target 2025 or Target 3030. Target or lifestyle funds are made for people based on when they're going to retire. So if you look at them and it says 2025, that's made for somebody who's going to retire in 2025. So the investment risk is balanced, so it's not as risky as a 2030. Okay, a 2030 is going to be way more aggressive because it has a longer lifetime to make money and to take risk, and if it loses, to make it back up. So those lifestyle funds are based on how long you plan on working. Should you use them? I would say talk to your investment person, take a look at your investment history and at the history of the fund, compare it to some other funds, and then it'll give you a better picture. There's not a one size fit all. And my fiduciary responsibility, meaning my license, my livelihood, dictates that I don't give certain advice to the whole world online. Most of this should be done one-on-one or in small groups. But let me explain something to you. Every month, if you're doing a payroll deduction and you get paid twice a month, you're buying into your 401k. And you're only buying the dollar amounts, so you're only risking the dollar amount that you're putting in that period. So my suggestion is that as you have two portfolios. You have your money in a longer term strategy, and the dollars that you're putting in every month or every pay period, you have a different strategy. And that way, when you're looking and you're learning about your investments, you're learning on a smaller dollar amount. So you might be more aggressive with that smaller amount. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're putting $200 a pay period into an investment. And so that's $400 a month. And let's say your investment didn't do real well that month and it was down 2%. You're down $8. Okay, you're down $8. And guess what? The next time you buy, the next $200, if it's still down 2%, you're buying it cheaper. So when it goes back up to where it was, you've created a bigger spread. It's called dollar cost averaging. It's not rocket science. It's actually a very simple thing to understand. You can Google it. You can look it up, dollar cost averaging. You can talk to your investment guy, but that's what you are doing automatically every time you make a purchase inside your 401k plan. You're doing it via dollar cost averaging, meaning that you are just buying a small amount in whatever the positions are. So you're averaging it over a longer period of time. So if you have questions, now would be the time to ask them. I will be more than happy to do my best to answer them. But that is an intro into a 401k program. It is a very bland intro, because there's so many different types of accounts with so many different types of investments. Some companies have 10 investments and some companies let you buy anything that you want on the marketplace. Some match at up to 3%, some match up to 6%. My suggestion, as I said before, is to go find your username, find your password, log in, start reading about it. You know, if you're not interested in your money, nobody else is going to be. So with that, I don't see any questions popping up. So I'm going to bid you an amazing investment return as you move into your next payroll deposit into your programs. You can always email me, dg@derickgant.com. I'd be happy to answer those questions or at least help you figure out how to get to the next step. If you want to better understand your money, we have a DIY course that you can take on managing your money. We also have a coaching program that you can take to help you teach you about your money. My holiday present to you is that I bundled it all up so you can see it. You can go right there to that bit.ly/24K Money Mastery. You are welcome, Rashawn. You are welcome, Nikki. I thank you all for jumping on, and I hope that you all have an amazing day. Thank you.